Joe, you did such a great job. You answered every question. You knew all the facts.
Well, it looks like somebody's getting their favorite butterscotch pudding tonight. Although, hold on a second.
Making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the with the COVID. Excuse me, with dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death, and he's destroying Medicare.
Huh. Well, you know what, Jill? I wouldn't be so quick with that butterscotch pudding, because I'm not really sure how that qualifies as answering a question. But you know what? Who cares? CNN, MSNBC, NBC News, they'll cover for him.
Right now, as we speak, there is a deep, a wide, and a very aggressive panic in the Democratic Party. It started minutes in
the
debate, and it continues right now. It involves party strategists, it involves elected officials, it involves fundraisers. And they're having conversations about the president's performance, which they think was dismal, which they think will hurt other people down the party in the ticket, and they're having conversations about what they should do about it. Some of those conversations include, should we go to the White House and ask the president to step aside? Other of the conversations are about, should prominent Democrats go public with that call? Because they feel this debate was so terrible.
Well, that doesn't sound like CNN. Normally, they would just lie and tell you that everything was great. Well, I'm sure that NBC's got his back.
You know, one of the things was, would either candidate look like the caricature that the other campaign has been trying to paint of him? And at the end of the day, Joe Biden looks like the caricature that conservative media has been painting. And there were no clips tonight, right? This was, you saw it before your eyes. Look, I don't want to just tell you what I think here, Tom. I've been talking to a lot of leaders in the Democratic Party, electeds, coalition leaders. There's a full-on panic about this performance. Not like, oh, this is recoverable. It is more of a, okay, he's got to step aside. There's a lot of that chatter.
Well, that's weird. He's telling the truth. That's not the sort of thing you expect from Chuck Todd. I don't know what's happening. And it gets even weirder. I mean, here they are fact-checking Joe Biden.
To some of them, he said he's the only president in a while who didn't have any troops dying anywhere in the world. Troops have, of course, died on his watch. He said he's put in a $15 per shot cap on insulin and Medicare. It's a $35 a month cap. He said it's a $200 cap on overall drug spending in Medicare. It's $2,000 a year. He said the border now has fewer crossings than when Trump was in office. That's generally not true. He said, or at least strongly suggested, unemployment was at 15% when he took office. It was actually 6.4. He said Trump wants to get rid of Social Security. Trump doesn't. He said billionaires pay 8.2% in taxes. It's much higher. He said Trump told Americans to inject bleach amid COVID. We know Trump made foolish comments about scientists studying disinfectant injection, but didn't frame it as advice to people. And Biden said the Border Patrol endorsed him. No, its union supported the border bill he'd supported, never endorsed him himself.
Weird, right? What's happening? This is just really strange. Was it really that bad?
Continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look, we had the safest border in the history of our country.
Yeah, that wasn't so good.
Look, there's so many young women who have been, including a young woman who just was murdered, and he went to the funeral. The idea that she was murdered by an immigrant coming in, they talk about that. But here's the deal: there's a lot of young women are being raped by their in-laws, by their spouses, brothers and sisters, it's just ridiculous, and they can do nothing about it. And they try to arrest them when they cross state lines.
Thank you.
Well, I guess that could have gone better. You know, that whole kind of evil dictator look that he put on through most of the evening, I'm not sure that went over very well either. And really, for half the evening, he was just staring off into the distance like he was ready to move into the light. Now, not everybody was piling on Biden. I mean, here's Harry Sisson. He's paid by the Democrats to promote Biden. He said all of these mega Republicans who are making fun of President Biden for having a stutter, a stutter, sure, Harry, are disgusting. How dare you make fun of a speech impediment? We're making fun of a brain impediment. Sorry. It's a slap in the face of millions of Americans who either have one or know someone who does. Have some damn respect. Savannah Hernandez replied, "Young man, you need to be put in a corner and have your phone taken away." Now, we were told immediately after the debate that Biden had a cold, but I'm just not sure that explanation is really going to cut it, especially when, his protectors, the mainstream media, seem to be turning on him. It's almost like they were waiting for an excuse to try and get rid of him so that their preferred party will have some chance of winning in November. And I think some people are saying that it was a setup. They put him up there to fail. The Democratic Party put him up there to fail. And then the media was there ready to throw him under the bus. I don't know, maybe. But I think that performance was so disastrous that I just think it would be impossible to try and spin it as some sort of a win. But one thing is clear, there will not be a second debate between Trump and Biden. That is not going to happen. And I think the clock is ticking on Joe Biden. And I don't just mean in the sense of his mortality. I mean, the insiders, the people that are running his administration are going to get rid of him now. They have to. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. Please like, share, and subscribe. Subscribing really helps me out. I thank you for that. I will see you next time.